say the hard way, does the hard way mean being incarcerated? No. The hard way can be many other ways. It could be something emotional that could really harm you, which is what happened to me. And the reason why is because, not just because I didn't listen to my family, but at first I did not listen to God himself. All right, tonight we're going to start off with Proverbs. We're going to go to Proverbs 5. We're going to start off with verse 1. When you get there, say amen. Proverbs, yes. Now, the reason I went to Proverbs is because at the time period when I was going through, I was reading Proverbs at the moment. And I asked God to help me out with the situation. And what came to my mind was, go to Proverbs. But I was on chapter 4, but something told me to go to chapter 6. I didn't know why. I didn't know what the reason was. But this is what all teenagers do. We sit here and wonder, in high school, or even when you get older, you wonder, it's the thing of, who should I date? Should I date this person or date this person? At this time period inside of high school, I had 2 beautiful females that I liked and they liked me back. But at the same time I didn't know which one to choose. I didn't know which one to want to date or want to associate with myself with more. So I asked God, please help me. One of these females was completely impure, but was going through a hard thing in life. What is that relationship that she was already in? And I wanted to be the person to show her, not all guys are bad. I get tired of hearing it. I really do. Seriously, like, what is going on with that? We're all criminals? Come on. So, that's the plus side of that one. The other one was completely pure, but she wasn't of God. So, I'm sitting here wondering, God, what do? I asked him. I prayed about it the night before. God told me, go to Proverbs, not one of us. This is what I read. And it seemed like he was talking directly to me. It was so creepy. My son, if you listen closely to my wisdom and good sense, you will have sound judgment, and you will always know the right thing to say. The words of an immoral woman may be as sweet as honey and as smooth as olive oil, but all that you really get from being with her is bitter poison and pain. If you follow her, she will lead you down to the world of the dead. She has missed the path that leads to life and doesn't even know it. My son, listen to me and do everything I say. Stay away from a bad woman. Don't even go near her door. Don't even go near the door of her house, and you will lose yourself and you will lose your self-respect and end up in debt to some cruel person for the rest of your life. Strangers will get your money and everything else you have worked for. When it is all over, your body will waste away as you groan and shout, I hate advice and correction. I pay no attention to my teachers, and now I am disgraced in front of everyone. You should be faithful to your wife, just as you take water from your own well, and don't be like a stream from which just any woman. The rest of it, I wasn't really worried about because I already caught my mind state when I read it again. So when I heard this, and I knew it came from God, I didn't want to listen. I did not want to listen. I wanted it to say the exact opposite. So what I did was I looked at my friend. I was like, read this. Do you see this? Do you see what he's saying to me? And he was like, well, you know what that means. And I was like, nah. So I'm like, all right, cool, man. I'm sitting here still thinking. I get to school. It's been like 2 periods I'm passing out of school. All right, I see this girl, the negative one that I know is talking about. The one that had all the problems that I wanted to help her out with, yada, 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 show them the right one, yada, yada. Okay. And You see, in that scripture, it said that her words would be as sweet as honey. Like God was telling me she about to set you up. I wasn't paying attention to what he was saying. Even though I was, but I didn't want to hear it. All right, so I showed. I'm like, look, I don't even know if I should ask you out because I just read something in the Bible that it completely tells me don't go near you. Keep in mind, you know how it said don't even go near the door of her house. 2 nights before, I tried to sneak out of my house to go see this girl, and I got stopped by the police before I even made it to the door of her house. It was like, my friend mentioned that to me on the bus. He was like, see, God didn't want you to go to her house. He stopped you with the police and made you go right back home. After I don't walk like 6 miles, bro, it was crucial. All right, so that after that done happened, I let her read it. And, the first thing she says, "Oh, well, this doesn't apply to me. I'm not married. I don't have a husband." What? All right, so her words were sounding sweet, like what, honey. So, and what I did, like a bear, I went for the honey. Did the foolish mistake and went with the girl. Dumb, one of the most dumbest mistakes of my life, but it led me to where I am now. So I can't say I regret it. The only thing I can say is that I'm happy that God delivered me from it. So, in this relationship, I went through so many negative things when what God was saying was coming true. And the reason why I was going through a lot of those things is because, you see, the first thing that happened was she cheated on me. First thing. I couldn't sit here and at the time, see, you know how somebody cheat on you and you young, and I don't know what it is about teenagers' minds, we just young and dumb. Like, when somebody cheat on us, it don't click, sometimes it don't click in our mind, leave this person. Sometimes it'll be like, well, you care about a person, you're going to stay with the person. I don't know why, but it just happened. I don't know why. But and then something else rational came to my mind. Oh, well, you did something wrong to the girl before, so maybe karma. So let it go. And maybe your route of karma is gone. All right, so I was like, you know what? And I called my mom and my dad, because they the people you can talk to about anything. Dad tell me, first my mom tell me, never put all your eggs in one basket. I'm like, and she was like, leave this girl alone. That's the second time someone told me, leave this girl alone, don't go around and don't be with her. Then I called my dad. Then my mom told my dad. Dad called me, and Dad like, "Oh, what's going on? What's wrong?" Of course, he go to grandma's house, go to my grandmother's house, and Dad telling me, son, look, this is what you do. All right, some girl leave you, some girl she don't even leave you. Do what I did. Go get 4 more. You know what? You know what I'm saying? I hear my grandma in the background saying, Jack, it's too many fish in the sea to be focusing on one fish. And then see, all these things are telling me, you need to leave this girl alone, but no, I still didn't listen. I still wanted to be disobedient. And the second time, and then something else happened on May 20th. I find out she cheated on me again. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't find that out until the day of our anniversary, which was the next day on May 21st. I found that out. And then what happened after that? The dude she cheated on me with decides he wants to fight me. He swings at me, he misses, and we end up fighting. I fractured 2 of his ribs, and then all his friends jumped me. They beat me down to the ground, and then they pounded me with rocks. They hurt me to the point where I could not bear it, but I did not drop 1 drop of blood. 11 dudes, grown men, on this one young man. All of them, 18 and above. And, man, I was like, at that time period, like, out of all that anger and rage, done with it, completely. And I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what to trust or any of that anymore. And, and my mom, I know she was thinking. I think she said it too. Told you leave that girl alone. You know, I think my dad said that to me too. And then my grandfather at the time, he was like, I think you should be done with her. I'm like, you're right. Should be done with her. I was done with her. Then something else happened. Oh, God. It was so, and then now that I look back at it, I feel so foolish. Like, no, seriously. Like, if I had love in my heart and it's blinding me to see all this bad stuff that's happening to me. It makes me feel like I'm immune to this pain, but then it comes back and hurts me even worse. Longer down the relationship, I didn't have trust for her anymore. And then that wasn't going too right. You know, but it was a time period we had did something wrong, and as a dumb teenager, what did I do? I had sex with my female. It wasn't the smartest thing to do. We had sex, and then what happened was she got pregnant. See, that wasn't a good thing to happen. It hurt a lot. Not the fact that she got pregnant, but the fact of she told me that she was going to abort the children. And no God that I know would go for abortion. Why? Because it seemed like man aborted his son out of this earth. Why would God want that? Come on, think about it. Like, what did he do? What did the child do wrong in this situation? He didn't do nothing wrong. The only thing it did was just become life. So why would you abort such a beautiful life form? You don't even need it. And you know, when I found that out, instantly, even though the child wasn't born, I felt a connection towards the child. Why? I don't know. I actually looked it up online. The reason why, when a man, he does not become fully connected with, he doesn't become fully emotionally attached with somebody, not with sex. No. It comes when they have that child. When that child is born. When a father sees his daughter or his son going through something, even though the father wants to let the son handle it on his own, he wants to help him at the same time. Why? Because he loves him. He can't help it but to love him. It's hard for a father not to. I kept telling him, don't do it. I kept praying about it. I went to the church and I did everything I could. I had the church pray about it. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't abort this child. Please do not. I didn't know how the taking care of anything else could have happened. It could have been put up for adoption, anything else. It did not have to be aborted. But she kept saying it's going to mess up my life. It's not about you. It's about the child. Think about it like that. I'm only 17 years old, and I'm thinking about it more maturely than what she is. Or more of a pure heart, even though I did wrong. But it's never too late to turn back around and do right unless you're dead. So, all right. She's sitting here saying, for a moment, she's like, all right, no, I'm not going to abort the child. It's not right. I don't feel right about this anymore. No, I don't want to. And then her parents start speaking into her ear. Satan is using her parents to tell her, go ahead, do it. Abort the child. Her mother beats her. Yada, yada, yada. Saying, oh, if you don't abort this child, I'm going to kick the child out of you. What kind of mother says that? What? All right, I understand. Mom angry at the moment. That's normal to happen. All right. So then she turns around and says, all right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to abort this child. The only thing I can do is keep praying. Keep praying, keep praying, keep praying. What? August 24th, this year. She aborted the child. Then a week later, there's an ultrasound that they do before the person having an abortion. I'm already hurt at the fact that she aborted the child. I cried my heart out. And it never was fixed. My heart was never really fixed. I haven't been the same Jack since. You know, and it made me think about that is, what made me think about is, in the Bible it said I'd be better. It said I would be better if I continue to be with this person. What ended up happening? I got a side of me that's really better because of that one incident. All fall because I did not listen to God, did not listen to my mom, did not listen to my grandma. I didn't listen to anybody that was trying to give me the right advice. Only thing I was listening to was my dumb brain. So, 2 weeks later, what made me even more better was that I saw the ultrasound. She didn't just abort one, she aborted 2. She had twins in her. That didn't help it at all. It really didn't. Crazy stuff continued to go on inside the relationship. And the last incident that we had was me trying to go see her one night, yada, 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 go hang out with her. What ended up happening? On my way, before I leave when I get out of my neighborhood, inside of a vehicle that I had stolen just to go see this person, that hurt me, did all this other stuff to me. Something tell me, my dad says that it's your mind telling you stuff. But I say that my grandmother tells me it's the Holy Spirit telling you something. Something tells me, oh, this about to be your last night seeing her. Last night seeing her, one of your last nights of marriage. I'm like, what? All right, so as I'm driving, I get to her house, not too long. After being there about like a couple of hours or so, here comes Supermom, sitting outside the house. Don't know how she found me. Like, she like, get out of the house. Come on now. You going back to North Carolina. And I was like, but the thing about it is that I can tell you how God works. And I didn't understand it at all. I thought I was all in the clear. When I left the house at 11:05, somebody miraculously called my house at 11:09. 11:09. They called my grandmother who was in North Carolina. She never called that lady, but it was my aunt, who is elderly, who is normally asleep after 9 o'clock. What is going on? And then I think about it completely, and I see it as now. The only thing it was that God was trying to take me out of what I was in before I became even worse into the predicament that I was in. All of this happened. I'm not saying it's going to happen to everybody, but it shows how far God will let things go just to fix your mind. You know, all this happened just because I was disobedient to one command, one thing. And it was foolish of me to not be obedient to that one thing. But if I never was, then I never will be able to stand up here in front of you all and tell you. Now, there are a lot of scriptures in the Bible that talk about obedience. A lot of them. And my word of advice is to listen to all of them. You know, obey your mother and your father. I don't care if your mother is like 92. For a good example though, like for real though, for a good example, when you were a kid, if you're not still a young age, and if you are, as being a kid, your mom tells you to do something. I know you heard this before, mama knows best, mother knows best. I rarely hear daddy knows best, but I normally hear mother knows best. You know. And you know, I noticed that in the Bible, the woman, the word wisdom is considered a woman. So that lets you know, all right, women are wise. I'm not saying women don't make unwise decisions. I'm not saying that men don't make wise decisions. I'm just saying that women are the symbol of wisdom. You, as a kid, your mom tell you, don't go outside and ride that bike without your knee pads and elbow pads. Your friends come around and be like, hey, Jack, or hey, whatever, come ride the bike with us. You can't find your elbow or knee pads, and you decide, I want to get on my bike anyways. The first couple of times up and down the street, you might ride perfectly fine, but I guarantee you, one thing is going to happen to make you fall off your bike and hit either your elbow or your knees. And you could have hit anywhere else on your body, but you had to hit your elbows and knees. You could have landed on your back. You could have landed on your shoulder, but instead you landed on your elbows and knees. You can't beat that. You cannot beat God, and you cannot beat what His Word has set up. His Word is something that tells you what you need to listen to, what you need to do just to succeed in life. Look at it. It's the basic instruction before leaving earth. You know, and I hope that a lot of you only have to go through just falling off your bike. Just to understand, to be obedient. But normally that's not what it always takes. You in school, mama tell you don't talk to this person. Mama tell you don't hang out with this group of people. What end up happening? You and them group of people end up getting locked up. End up getting in some deep trouble that mama can't get you out of. Daddy can't get you out of. The only person that gets you out is God himself. Amen. Only person. I mean, that's just how it is. And it's all over the laws of obedience. And you know, I don't want to have to go through what I went through ever again. Ever. Because it's an emotional pain that scarred me for the rest of my life. But you see, what it takes is me continuing to sit down, read Proverbs, read other part of the Word. I could read Proverbs over and over and over again to get a different message each time. It's any part of the Bible. You know, but that's all it takes. And that's a part of the Bible too. He says read his Word. He wants you to read his. So you need to listen to him. Be obedient to that too. The main thing that all people need to do is just be obedient. Just be obedient to anybody in authority above you. Unless they tell you to do something against God, do it. God even told it's not God. I believe it once somewhere in the Bible where God told Jonah to go somewhere. Jonah said, "I didn't want to. They weren't worthy. They weren't worthy." And what happened? Jonah went the other way. What did God do? Put him in a big fish. And so Jonah was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do what God said I got to do because obviously that's the only one we got in the big fish." You know, it's so. Imagine what if Noah didn't listen to God about the ark? None of us would be here. None of us. Seriously. We got to think about stuff like that. Obedience is the main thing. In the beginning of this world, when one person disobeyed God, it made this world the way it is now. Adam himself. When he disobeyed God, it made us like this. It made the world not as pure and holy as God wanted it to be. It brought sin into this world when Adam disobeyed God. If that drastic thing can happen from being disobedient to God, imagine what in your life could be such a drastic change by being disobedient to just your parents. I mean, that's just something to think about. But that's my lesson.